What's dangerous is when the universe pick you and you put on the magic glasses. There's rules that go with them. You can never take them off. You never see things as they're supposed to be. You see things as they are. You can never force nobody else to wear them.
I think while I lie awake and contemplate tonight are wearing me out. Well, maybe tomorrow the world will wake and get it right, but I have my doubts, yeah. During the day, well, I design machines of war that scream through the sky. 'Cause I, for one, I like to go to bed free at night under these stars and stripes. And I have my doubts that we're coming out. Yes, I have my doubts, and I have my doubts that we'll make it back out. Yes, I have my doubts, but they'll wind you up and pull the cord until you're spun right out. And I don't understand. Roll the dice and raise the price to feed the machine's mouth. Call it the progress of man. And I have my doubt that we're coming out. Yes, I have my doubt. And I have my doubt that we'll make it back out. I have my doubts, so I'll drink my stuff and raise some hell and shoot my guns to the end of my time. You can have the booze and go to hell and take the guns, but I know they won't be mine. That we're coming out. Yes, I have my doubts, and I have my doubts that we'll make it back up. Yes, I have my doubts. So we're all messed up and out of touch. Let's text someone who's in the other room. So don't wonder why we don't say hi or know anyone. I might as well move to the moon. So maybe I'm wrong. Well, I hope that I'm wrong. So maybe I'm wrong. Well, I hope that I'm wrong. Well, the things I think while I lie awake and contemplate at night are wearing me out.
Good evening. Hope everyone is doing well. Another day. Another week, actually. It's our Friday today, so I'm actually thankful for that. Just the typical ready to have a day where I don't have to worry about what time I do this or that to be ready for the news or this, It is just kind of nice to put it away for a couple of days, but or to the best of my ability. Man, it's non-stop craziness, I'll tell you. I don't have a lot of tabs open tonight. I don't have a lot of content tonight. There just really isn't much necessarily shaking. I mean, there is, but I don't know. I try not to I try to only put the amount of attention and I'll say amount of urgency with things that they deserve. I try not to overdo it or anything like that. I was looking through the news today, which, by the way, I have no idea what happened. But sometime this afternoon, I was like, man, have I put out any headlines all day? Because I thought I did. I thought in the morning, I thought I ran through and got them knocked out in the morning, and I just thought I hadn't seen any more. And no, I didn't put out a single one at that point in time. So I, of course, ran through the list and put the headlines out. But why my little extension didn't show that there was anything for me, that's pretty unusual. And that's Google's up to their games again, because I don't think you still can get this on Google, on Google's little app thing or whatever extension thing. They got rid of it, and they have many times disabled it, but I just re-enable it and flip them the middle finger, and we go about our way. But I had to, before I redid Windows, I made sure to do this. I Googled how I could save an extension, right? And then how I could in turn reload that extension, manually and not from the Chrome store, And so sure enough, came across my answers, and I've got a file all zipped up on one of my storage drives, so that if I ever have to redo Windows or whatever, reinstall Google Chrome, I actually have access to that extension, and Google can go screw themselves. So I'm sorry, I think that's extremely wrong. To limit information. I just really do. And in light of all of it, it's mind-blowing to me, because there is a reason why I use RT. Now, I'm not somebody that's got to sit here and try to pander to Americans or anything like that. I'm not interested. If we can't talk truth about shop, then I'm not interested. And I'll tell you what, there's a whole hell of a lot. It leaves a lot to be desired. I don't know, folks. We better start standing up in this nation. And I mean in a serious way. If we don't, holy cow, what they've already done, holy cow. You can go back into our show's archives And I know that they're there because I get copyright notices almost daily. For those that don't know, our show format used to be I would come on and my thought was, hey, I not only can I not do the quality of videos that a lot of these creators can make, but I wouldn't be able to do it any better than what they did. And instead of me just being just another one out there doing the same frickin' thing, instead of that, be a channel somewhere where people could go to learn a bunch of different skills from a bunch of these different creators in one place. And it was never about monetization or anything like that because we weren't monetized at all at the time. Didn't have an interest in being monetized at the time. And so that's what I did. So I've got a bunch of stuff from, say, 2014 up through about 2017 to where I'm consistently getting hits, copyright hits. And they're not like, it's not like they're the copyright one where you get the strike and you get some time off and, you're pee-pee schwacked. It's not like that. It's just, they can make money off the content. And my attitude is, well, good. I'm glad somebody can. I mean, go for it. But, anyway, we had since changed formats. We no longer do that for multiple reasons. For one, when we started this channel, YouTube hadn't quite really turned the screws tight on the creators yet. People were still financially doing pretty well from YouTube and stuff like that. It wasn't our intent to make money off of YouTube, so we didn't. But the other creators, they weren't that squeezed. They would make content, it would get monetized, and I won't say it was necessarily fair what they got for it, but a hell of a lot better than what they get now. And so I back then was trying to impress upon people that what's important was the truth. When we started this channel, that was the only thing that we were interested in doing. It was getting the truth out there, an unbiased and unagenda-sized, unpartisan, just a sober look at the data. And bringing it back to the RT thing, I've caught a lot of hell over the years for using RT. I can't find a more accurate news source. Period. I can't. I've looked. I continue to look. I look every single day. I never stop looking for news sources. I can't find anybody to even come close to holding a candle to RT News. And that's just a fact. Do they have propaganda and all? Yeah. But it's real easy to spot. And there's not, to be honest, it's not laid on real thick either. It's really not. The most propaganda that I see out of RT, especially as of late, is when an event would happen and Putin would need to get out the official stance. Now, and I don't call that propaganda. I call that communication. Potato, potato, I guess. But I call that communication. And RT did absolutely do that for Putin. For most of the day, there's a couple of days in particular I'm thinking of, for most of the day, the same breaking news headline stayed up at the top. And it was basically like Putin's official response or what have you, And And it makes sense. It just makes sense. But I've caught a lot of hell for using RT, and that doesn't make any damn sense, because they're providing information. And I mean, it's... Yeah, go look it up. I mean, I have time and time and time and time, and I still do. I still verify stories. If there's anything amiss, if there's anything that, I'll go look around. It's easy to tell. And if that ever changes, there's been news sources that we've used in the past that I won't touch with a 10-foot pole today. Sky News, perfect example of that. Sky News, yeah, back in 2016 when we first started, paying attention to them and stuff, they were a pretty good outfit. And I'll be damned if election time didn't roll around and Sky News just went full retard. I mean, just absolutely no turning back, full retard. And from my understanding, has remained that way ever since. So, anyway, howdy, Ryan. Oh, goodness. So, yeah, I've got a few tabs open. I've got the headlines, not a whole lot. I figure we'll make a easy night of it. Tired. I don't know how long I was out. What? Hour and a half, maybe? 2 hours? Was I out that long? I'm not sure. Probably at least an hour. I think I went out. I don't know. I did something very wrong in our home today. Very, very wrong. And I laid down on the futon and I slept. And, well, that's not allowed around these parts. No, anyway, I dozed off, and, I tell you what, it didn't give me that refreshing. Ever since, I'm like, damn, I just want to go back to bed. I hate when I do that. So, I knew better, too. Yeah, but hey, I'm just doing the same thing my dad always told me. I'm just resting my eyes. Yeah, you're going to go to sleep, and you've got it turned on in the damn news. I want to watch something else, but you got the news on. You're going to go to sleep. Bastard. Nah. Now I use the same excuses. That is a great day if your grandchild was there. Oh, goodness. Let's see. I reckon I can work on some articles here. This, we've kind of talked about this a number of different times. And it's continuing, and it will. There is a lot of new equipment that's being tested over in Ukraine right now by all parties involved, and then some. And it's kind of crazy, really. The thing I don't understand is if they're talking about some type of advanced or whatever. That's just a DJI drone that guy's putting in the air. Not anything super secret military or anything like that. So I kind of don't understand the picture, to be honest. It's just a regular drone. Ukraine has become a true military innovation laboratory, particularly in the field of AI and drones. U.S. Assistant Secretary of Defense for Strategy, Plans, and Capabilities, Mara Carlin, has said at a panel at the Ronald Reagan Institute on Wednesday. Pardon me. The valuable warfare insight coming from Ukraine is as important as data harvested by the U.S. military during its wars in Afghanistan and Iraq, the senior Pentagon official noted. It's not as important, it's actually more important. There are things that you will learn not in a conflict, say through war games or tabletop exercises, and then there are other things that one will inevitably learn when there is a war fight going on. She explained, while recollecting how much innovation was happening. I don't know why I'm stumbling. When U.S. forces were in Iraq and Afghanistan, and how they were able to take certain things, put them onto the battlefield, figure out how to make certain shifts, and apply them. Viewing Ukraine as a military laboratory of sorts is something that has been expressed not only by Kiev's overseas backers, but by the country's leadership as well. For instance, the conflict between Russia and Ukraine has been advertised as an opportunity for Western arms makers by former Defense Minister Alexei Reznikov. Kiev's Western supporters and their defense industry giants can actually see if their weapons work, how efficiently they work, and if they need to be upgraded, Reznikov told the Financial Times back in July. For the military industry of the world, you can't invent a better testing ground. Well, that's a nice, warm, and cheery thought, thinking that human lives are being lost, while people are going, oh, maybe we should have used a little more solder there. You know what I mean? It just doesn't sit well with me. Maybe we should have used 2 washers instead of 1, Bob. Now, I know for a fact that you guys never saw this coming. Oh, it's only getting started. Okay, so remember how over the past couple of years they made sure to make us aware of just where their fuel stocks were in the UK and the EU? And you know how they made sure to let us know about how they didn't know if they were going to be able to, keep up. And they made it kind of sound like, well, we just got to get through this year. Do you think that they've completely refilled those stocks? Because I got news for you. Nobody has. I'm gonna be real frank with you guys. I don't know what the hell they're up to, but you need to understand that they are not putting back energy in the UK, the EU, who already knows they're going to have a shortage, both because of their lessened dependence on Russia and because of closing down their own infrastructure like a bunch of geniuses. The U.S. doing everything it can to empty out its reserves. It's not looking good. That's why I kind of look around. I don't know, feeding that dead horse. but I keep looking at the prepping industry and I'm like, fuel, none of them will talk about fuel. The most they'll talk about fuel. Well, I've got some fuel stored back. Well, yeah, well, you know what? I've got plenty of rolls of toilet paper in there. Look, I'm going to run out of toilet paper. You're going to run out of fuel. It's a fact. It's a fact. It just blows my mind that just because of the lack of interest or possibly the intimidation of the technology, maybe. I don't know which one it is. It could be either or both. Would prevent somebody from getting behind a movement that would, not could, not maybe, but would save millions of lives. Millions of lives. And all these people have to do is work together to make sure that all of you know about it and know where to get the information that you need to have in order to build, make, retrofit this equipment yourself. And it's so mind-blowing to me, the amount of channels out there that will bullshit people into thinking how much they care about their viewers and blah, 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 blah. But since there is not a dime to be made on that, they won't touch it with a 10-foot pole. Isn't that amazing? It's amazing to me. Right? And so I get these people coming at me, oh, I'm just jealous, or blah, blah, blah. No, I'm not. I am not jealous of retards. Sorry, I am not. And if you're offended by that, I don't know what to fucking tell you. I put in my time. I put in my work educating myself, getting the experience, gaining the wisdom. I keep hearing a lot of these channels talk about people doing. I fucking done, yo. That's how I know half of these cocksuckers are full of shit. Because when there's somebody standing in front of them going, right there, and they're shielding themselves from it because they can't personally gain from it, I'm supposed to be jealous of that? Nah, see, I love the Father. The Father. I don't give two shits about men. That bothers a lot of people. Don't know what to tell them. I have done nothing but fall flat on my face with anything to do associated with mankind. I'll keep my focus on him and his direction. Anywho, I know, rant. Damn rants. It's frustrating. It is. It can help so many people. All they have to do is stop worrying about their own wallets long enough to distribute some information to encourage people to get other individuals that work in the type of fields concerned to get busy on it. Because literally, okay, let me unwrap this for anybody that has no idea what I'm talking about. In a very, very short amount of time, there could be individuals that had the knowledge to be able to build a device that in short order, and it could be built now. That's the thing. Everything can be built ready to go now. It can be built, tested, tried and true, so that there would not even be a hiccup. There would not be a single missed day. But they don't get it. No clue. I'm just some jealous idiot. I hope they take that to the Father. And I hope they rebuke me in front of the Father. I hope they do. I'm not interested in preaching the word. I'm interested in living it. That's a choice we all have to make. I'm not going to babysit anybody else. Anyway, France bets on coal to ensure power supply. Imagine that. France may have to keep its last 2 coal-fired power plants on standby this winter to guarantee security of electricity supply, its national grid operator RTE announced on Tuesday. According to RTE's outlook of upcoming power needs, the country is heading into this winter in a much better situation than a year ago. However, growing demand during the country's long-term energy transition will pressure supply, it warned, adding that in case of a shortage in nuclear power production or a lack of renewables, coal plants may have to be on hand. We'll need solutions to meet longer imbalances in 2030, given Europe's decarbonization goals, said Thomas Verink, RTE's executive director in charge of strategy, adding more flexibility such as battery storage and tools to shift demand away from peak hours should be a priority, he stressed. The good news is they've still got those plants to put back online. Not everybody in the EU and UK are so fortunate. There are a lot of places that I have no idea how they plan to pull it off. I really don't. Let's see. All right. This is the last tab I have open. And like I say, I got the headlines. Easy night. I'm good for that. I seriously just want to go back to bed. And then I do have plans tomorrow. I want to fly, damn it. I don't know if you're Fire Marshal Bill, I don't know if you're out there tonight. But damn it, tomorrow I hope you're free. You know, we could either do some flight sim or maybe we could meet up in VR chat and go hold hands for a nice stroll on the beach or something. I prefer flight sim though. Oh, hey, you are there. All right. Oh, man. Let's see. Kiev has nothing to show for all the money spent, says U.S. Senator. Oh, by the way, Fire Marshal Bill, I don't know, are you good if you're like presented a problem, are you good at figuring it out, especially if it has to do with software? Because, I ran into an issue with the texturing stuff that, well, I'll show you, but I don't know what I'm doing, what I'm not doing. I just want The only thing I want is the damn model to be able to throw in substance painter and be able to texture. I don't need all the parts. I don't need any of the animations. I don't need any. I don't need any of that. I just need the damn shell, and then the text, the mesh file, whatever the hell. I don't know what I'm talking about. That's the thing. I need to show you what I know, so that we can find out or figure out if you can figure out the part that I can't figure out. So that. Yeah. Because I'm like, I know I'm right there. It's just, I don't know jack about modeling, and I know you don't either, but you might be able to figure something out that I just wasn't clicking in my mind or something. I don't know. I'm stuck. So, and there's a lot of aircraft that it causes a problem with. So, I'll show you. Anyway, Kiev has nothing to show for all the money spent, says U.S. Senator. I mean, I know we're all happy about that. Okay, yeah. And that's going to be a good one to do, Fire Marshal Bill. And the reason I say that is because that's a Coronado product. And I hate the way that Coronado textures their aircraft. They're one of the methods that they typically use is I guess they call them color boards or something, and I hate that shit. I'll show you what I'm talking about. But if we figure out how to do what I'm talking about, we can get past that color board crap. So that's why I'm especially interested in that. And I know because the M20R is one that the Mooney M20R, that's one that I've been playing with trying to get textured, but because of the way they're set up, I'll show you. Because I couldn't explain it because I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Anyway, let's see. Article here says U.S. should not endlessly pour money into Ukraine, especially since Kiev has nothing to show for it, Senator Josh Hawley has said, following President Joe Biden's request for additional funds. If there is some path to victory in Ukraine, I didn't hear it today, and I also heard that there's going to be no end to the funding request, Hawley, a Republican from Missouri, told reporters following a closed-door Senate briefing on the situation in Ukraine on Wednesday. What we were basically told is buckle up and get out your checkbook. It's American people's money. They've spent $115 billion, and so far they have basically nothing to show for it, the senator said, arguing that Germany and other European allies should step up to the plate in terms of aiding Kiev in its conflict with Russia. Speaking to Fox News on Thursday, Hawley reiterated his position that the U.S. shouldn't be spending a dime more on Ukraine and called for an audit of the fund already sent to Kiev. Biden, who met with Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky in the White House on Thursday, has been asking Congress to provide an additional $24 billion in aid. I'm counting on the good judgment of the United States Congress, Biden said. White House spokesman John Kirby previously urged legislators not to block the funding, warning that it was really a critical time to help Kiev. It's always a critical time, right? When you're fiending for crack, man, it's very critical. I mean, the Bidens know all about that. Anyway, yes, they need 24 more billion. That'll cover a couple of weeks for Hunter. Paradise for Hunter Biden is a ski resort. But that ain't artificial snow. All right. Let's see. Do some headlines and boogie on out the door. Like I say, I'm thankful to have a couple of days off. All right, let's do some headlines. Largest ever Ukrainian drone attack foiled. Russia issues warning over NATO war games. Poland stops weapons supplies to Ukraine, says PM. Diamond producers angry at G7's Russia ban, says Financial Times. YouTube cuts Russell Brand's ad revenue following rape allegations. I know you've already heard that 5 dozen times by now. And then you'll see later on, Rumble did not cut their funds. Let's see, Moscow unemployment lowest among G20 cities, says an official. No grounds for Ukraine peace talks, says Kremlin. U.S. House Speaker denies Zelensky limelight, says New York Times. Russia becomes UAE's top gold supplier, says Bloomberg. Ukraine using Soviet methods against media, says Bild. A Polish MP bills Ukraine $23 billion for support. Azerbaijani leader calls Putin over peacekeeper deaths. UK backtracks on petrol car ban. Wagner chief's grave under 24/7 guard, says media. Poland issues warning to Ukrainian oligarchs. Israel clears nuclear deal with Saudi Arabia, says Wall Street Journal. Now hang on, let's back up a couple of, because there's something that just eats at me about Prigozhin, his grave being under 24/7 guard. And I know that a lot of people might say, well, yeah, there might be a lot of, people sympathetic to the West that, or whatever. And, I don't think so. I really don't think so. To me, knowing that they've got an announced 24/7 guard, announced 24/7 guard, I don't think he's dead. And that's why I don't think they want anybody to try to exhume him, because I don't think he's in there. Something to chew on. France bets on I covered that. Russia hasn't paid anti-doping agency, says TASS. Germany opposes Ukrainian UN proposal, says foreign minister. EU to back members against Ukraine, says Financial Times. Rupert Murdoch to step down as chair of Fox and News Corporation. Biden predicts face-off with Trump in 2024. Biden can't predict what time it is. I mean, Germany has reached immigration limit, says president. Biden names countries admitted to foreign exchange market. Saudi crown prince reveals nuclear red line. U.S. government and media lying about Ukrainian counteroffensive, says Seymour Hersh, closely related to Seymour Butts. Russia restricts fuel exports. France accused of threatening press freedom. Italy to quit China's Belt and Road, says foreign minister. Poland makes U-turn on Ukraine aid. At least they kept the same letter. Did they? If are you going to use a U-Haul? Because if you're going to make a U-turn on Ukraine aid, I sure hope you use a U-Haul. I mean, otherwise. EU country resolves grain dispute with Ukraine, says Reuters. U.S. using Ukraine playbook in Chinese-Russian neighbors, says MP. Video platform rejects call to demonetize Russell Brand. That would be Rumble. Kiev's top general may become subject of criminal probe, says BBC. Ukraine, a laboratory. Oh, cover that. Kiev is nothing. Oh, cover that. That was it. That's all. That's everything. Get the hell out. Get off my lawn. Oh. Fun times. Crazy. Just keep an eye on stuff. Things could go tits up at any given time. Do I think that we're that close to things going tits up? I don't. Tits up? Nah, I don't think so. You know, I think it's gonna happen before long, but I don't know that it's really necessarily imminent. I think we do have some stuff imminent though. So, and I think how we respond to that will play out how the rest of it goes. So we'll see. Anyway, I am going to get out of here. God willing, I'll be back Sunday for another week, and hope to see you there. As always, God bless you. We love you. Be one with your spirit, and shalom.